This is just a stupid video. It's 2 a.m. So for 2 nights in a row, at 4 a.m., there's a guy and a lady yelling, like super loud, like, not like, I mean it's super loud. And my window's open. And I took my, what is it called? Sleeping herb thing. And I popped my earphones out. I'm going to sleep. I'm gonna get some good sleep because the other night I didn't sleep very well. And I think I hear yelling. And I'm like, it must be that couple again fighting or whatever. So I tell myself, just go back to sleep. You know, don't worry about what's going on there. Just go to sleep. Go to sleep. Wake up again. I hear yelling and hollering again. Convince myself to go back to sleep. Well, now it's 2 a.m. And I doubt that you guys can hear it. But it's 2 a.m. And there was a house around the corner from where I'm living at. And the gentleman had lived there with his mother. His mother passed on. He lived in the basement and rented the top of the house out to this wonderful couple. They were kind of wacky like me, but they were really nice. And they had, there's my neighbor's light. Anyways, they were nice, and they had a beautiful vegetable garden. And the funny thing is the lady, this is no word of a lie, I can't make this up. Her cat's name was, let me see this thing for a minute because I'm really groggy right now. It was, I don't know if it was White Shadows or something Shadows anyway, okay? So her cat would go missing all the time, and they would knock at my door, you know, can we go look in your backyard for the cat? I'd always say no problem. I never had an issue with them. So she'd walk up and down the street yelling, "White Shadows, where are you, White Shadows?" And the first time I heard her, right, before I knew that they had a missing cat or whatever, can you imagine you're sitting in your living room or whatever and you hear some lady crawling out white shadows? I thought, like, I didn't know what the hell to think. But anyways, the gentleman had to sell the house, so they're gone, and they were so nice. They were helpful. She had a plant sale one time. I bought plants from her. And I said, when they move, they're gonna get such crap people in there. Because they were good neighbors. Good neighbors are hard to find. Pardon me. So, now I'm in my window with my phone on. So you can see the glow of my phone. So maybe these kids think I'm calling the authorities or something. I don't know, because they really quieted down since I've peeked out the window here. But anyways, so the house gets sold, okay, and the people that buy it are just questionable. Okay, we've had a few questionable people buy properties around here, and you probably think I'm a snob, because, you know, you probably think I'm looking down on people. No, I'm not. But for 2 years, we were terrorized, and I'm not even joking, terrorized by this one house. High crime. There's lots of crime in the house. And they started to do stuff outside of my house. And I had to say to the guy, listen, I have my granddaughter here, and I don't want to see what you're doing. I don't want to know what you're doing. Just don't do it in front of my house. And one day, I see one of the girls let's just say she was on DRUGS's. She was blanker than a kite, okay? I see her staring out into space at all the neighbors' houses, and I'm like, she's gonna rob someone, or she's planning on something, okay? She's gonna do something. Well, then I see her start walking over towards my house, and I'm like, what the hell? And this is the daytime, and I have my granddaughter. I used to watch her during the day at this time. And I said to my granddaughter, I said, wait in here. And she said, why, Nana? Are you gonna that lady? Are you gonna fight that lady? And I said, no, Nana's just gonna go talk to her, knowing full well I intended on going and punching her in the nose. So because like I said, we were, for 2 years, these people had put us through hell. All hours of the night, park in front of my house. Oh, there we go, here come the swears. So it's either they've pissed the neighbors off is what they've done. Can you hear that? I don't. No, it's just them fighting amongst themselves. Probably drinking. Unfortunately, they're young, but they're having they're probably doing DRGs and alcohol. Anyways, so I go outside, and she said, Nana, are you going to hurt her or something, punch her, fight her, whatever? And I had intentions on doing so, because like I said, they're terrorizing us at this point. And the landlord's saying, I can't get them out of here. I can't do nothing. I can't, my hands are tied. He could have done something. He could have done something the first day, because their dog, his tenant's dog, attacked him, bit him and his wife. Or at least, I don't know what the story went, and he could have called the COPSs. Anyways, he was a slumlord, and he still owns that house, but since it's been okay. And I'm not naive. My neighbors can be, oh, and I'm just gonna get in the car. That's sad. Young people can't even have a good time. It actually breaks my freaking heart. Oh. Yeah, that's sad. But those are our new neighbors. Anyways, so I go outside, and I'm just chilling in my window. I probably look crazed right now, but anyways, who cares? All the neighbors are coming out now. So, yeah, I go step outside, and then I realize, like, I'm obviously not gonna let my granddaughter witness me knock some girl out. Like, that's not my style. And I would never want her to see something like that. So I turn around and I tell her to stay in the house. Nana's coming back. Nana's just gonna talk to her, okay? So I walk out. And by this time, the girl had made it onto our property and picked my damn flowers. Yeah, the BITCH had picked my effing flowers from my garden. And she could have taken something. She could have tried to break a window or breach a door, whatever. But the fact that she stole my flowers, I was ready to fight her, but I wasn't gonna because my granddaughter was here. So, anyways, yeah, that house he's rented it out, but now there's new people. They seem okay. Seem being the keyword. But anyways, this house now, the guy bought it and renovated it, and now he's rented it out. Pardon me. And I thought I saw who was going to rent it the other day. Like the new people. And they look very young. Very young. To rent a house? Pretty young. But I just saw them earlier this evening because there was a big black SUV parked outside my house. So I ran out to see who the hell is that, and it was for this house that's been fighting now. And I said, they're going to be a problem. I said to my son, they're going to be a problem. He said, why? I said, well, they've been parked outside here for 15 minutes. Out in front of my house. What are they doing that they can't go to where they're at? Like, where they're going to go to. They must be up to something. And maybe they weren't. Maybe they weren't. And then I saw them all dressed up earlier. They must had, and with flowers. They must have had a graduation of some sort. But the people there, there's one set of people they're beside. They're not going to fight them. They're not going to say nothing to them. They just stay in their house, mind their own dang business. But the people 2 or 3 doors down might not take a liking to, especially if they're going to be out here in the summer at 2 a.m. that loud. Like, they don't realize voices carry. And they could be out there, like, you know, you're allowed to have a barbecue and have friends over and do your thing. But they're extra loud. They're extra loud, right? There's a difference between sitting and talking with your friends and screaming at each other. And, you know, and that's what people don't understand. Young people don't understand. And I've had a few people I know, like neighbor-wise, not here, that don't understand that, yeah, you can still do what you're going to do, but after fucking 11 p.m., simmer the fuck down, please, and thank you. You know? But it sounds like that poor kid probably bought all the pizza and everything and got in a fight with her brother. That's the gist I got of that. And you know, that I feel, like I said, I feel bad for young kids nowadays because, like, when I was growing up, there were a few fights, obviously, okay? I got my butt kicked a couple times, only because I got jumped by girls. It wasn't one-on-one, because if it was one-on-one, I could wipe the floor with you and your mother and your grandmother. And I didn't like to fight. I still don't like to fight. But one of my roommates, she wanted to fight me one time. And I held her down. All I did was hold her down. But I left marks on her shoulders from holding her down. And here we go. They're starting up again. And she said, I would never want to fight you. And I said, I would never want to fight you. You started the fight. You know? She ended up robbing some sort of store later on in her life and going to jail. I feel sorry for her. She had a real bad life. She was adopted, but and she lived, you know, in a relatively nice house and the people that adopted her. She never accused them of anything bad. They were good to her. They treated her like their daughter. But they weren't of her culture, and it was hard for her to grow up. And her mother had 6 children, all different dads. And she said that's not what bothered her the most. What bothered her the most is all 6 kids looked totally different. One had blonde hair, one had brown hair, one had black hair, one had red hair. She said all of us together in a photo, we look completely different. I don't look like any of my brothers and sisters, and they don't look like me. Yeah, so they're not gonna, the neighbors, the one neighbor won't bother them, but the neighbor beside these people, they're gonna be fed up. He family's not going to put up with that for too long. That's the problem with teenagers. That's why a lot of people won't rent to families with teenagers, because, little kids are, annoying and they're loud through the day. But the problem with teenagers is they're probably bad, and then they got their friends. It's triple, quadruple bad. So anyways, hopefully that will be the end of that, but we're not going to be putting up with that during the summer, because I will not be running the AC. I'll have the window open, and I'm not going to listen to that hooting and hollering. And people say, well, mind your own business. I can't, because I don't know what is a threat. I don't recognize if that's outside my window, if that's on my front door, at my front door. So my brain, even if I'm asleep, in a dead sleep, like tonight I took my herbal sleep thing, it doesn't recognize that, if it's a threat or not. Oh, here they come back. Uh-oh. The boys are coming back. This is not going to be good. They just did a loop. Uh-oh. Here they come out the car. The car did not even stop. And they're jumping out the car. I bet he's going to go fight the brother. I am not making this up. You guys probably think I'm making this shit up. I'm not. The car did not even stop, and he was jumping out the car. I bet she's going to go punch the brother or something. Or maybe they're just going to kiss and make up. I don't know. I'm listening. I won't be able to fall asleep for a good little bit. Oh, and then there's another car pulling up. So guess what? Maybe she got this dude to pay for the pizzas, right? And now she's calling some other dude. Let's see what's gonna happen. I wouldn't be playing those games if I was young. If you like me, you like me. If you don't like me, sayonara, sir. Yeah, dropped off. Okay, so now that other car that just pulled up, someone got out and is walking up to the door. I bet you she's a two-timer. It's awful if she's that young and she's already two-timing dudes. Ooh, that breeze is nice. That breeze is beautiful. It's nice and cool. And, see, this is the thing. These kids now that are waiting in the car, the other car drove off. This car let out the guy that was originally at the party. They're parked in front of another neighbor's house. This is where you're gonna have issues. Don't park in front of the neighbors' houses, because their cameras and alarms and bells and whistles go off. Stay where you're at. Park where you're at the house that you're at, that you're visiting. Because then, if that's me and I wake up and I see a car in front of my house, again, who is that? What are they doing out there? Alright, well, anyways, I'm going to try to go back to bed. I'll listen to some music and try to fall back asleep. And the thing is, they got those, what are they called? Security lights that are motion censored. So every 15, not even 15 minutes, every few minutes their motion light sensor goes off. The light goes on. I couldn't imagine living next door to that, where the light goes off and on. The neighbors that were there goes my neighbor's motion sensor light. The people that lived there originally were awesome. Awesome, best neighbors in the world. Loved me to death. I love them, literally. The gentleman had an award-winning truck, vintage truck. And they have 2 security lights in their garage. and they would go off, you know, obviously if someone walks in front of them or whatever. They're so sensitive that if someone walks in front of my house, the motion sensor lights go off. So that to me was awesome, right? I get motion sensor lights, but I don't have to pay for the electricity. Worked out well. But when the new people moved in there, I don't know what they did to the lights. The lights were perfectly fine. Maybe they just flipped a switch in the garage. I don't know. They only have one sensor light go on now, so I don't get my free security. And now, if I'm in front of my window, which I am, or my son walks in front of his window, the fucking security light goes off. Or if I'm in bed and I sit up, the security light goes off. Or if the wind blows, the security light goes off. So I could be lying in bed, and the light right now, like it's flashed about 10 times since I've been talking to y'all, goes off and on, off and on. I'm gonna have to say something because I have dark curtains on, and it'll flash in, and it's annoying. It's like someone with a flashlight out there shining into my room. Alright, I guess the party has been taken inside. You think they'd be cold outside? It's cold. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.